Never make these 7 home buying mistakes, because I've seen them cost buyers tens of thousands of dollars, or even cause buyers to lose the house they thought was theirs. In this video, I'm breaking down the mistakes that trip buyers up most, and more importantly, how you can avoid them so you don't end up house poor or stuck with regrets. And pay close attention, because one mistake in particular gets overlooked by almost everyone, and it's the one that silently drains your budget the most. Mistake number 1 is trusting listing photos and seller disclosures. Photos are designed to trick you. Wide-angle lenses make rooms look twice the size. Staging hides flaws, and if there aren't many photos of the bathrooms or bedrooms, that's usually a red flag. I've had clients walk into homes that looked amazing online, and in person, the place was falling apart. One had a shiny new kitchen in the pictures, but when we checked the roof, which wasn't pictured at all, it was 18 years old and the shingles were starting to come off. Sellers' disclosures can be just as misleading. Sometimes sellers hide things, but often they just don't know the answer to the question or understand the question. I once saw a disclosure claiming the roof was only 5 years old. When I pulled the permits, only one section had been patched after water damage, the rest was original. The owner had only owned the home for 2 years and was told it was a new roof. So they didn't lie on the seller's disclosure, they just didn't know the whole story. So here's the rule. Don't trust the marketing. Always check permits, always get an inspection, and assume missing photos are hiding something. So what do you do instead? Before you even schedule a showing, take 5 minutes to pull public records in your county, especially permits for the roof, HVAC, and major repairs. Most counties have an online portal where you can type in the address and see the history. If you can't find it, your agent can. That quick check can save you from wasting time on homes with hidden problems. Mistake number 2 is skipping the home inspection. This one feels like an easy place to save money, especially in a competitive market, but it's how you end up buying a money pit. Mold in the attic, hidden leaks, foundation cracks, unsafe wiring, you won't see those in a 15-minute showing. One buyer I worked with almost waived the inspection because the house looked perfect. The inspector ended up finding a major electrical issue. The inspection literally saved them tens of thousands of dollars and possibly their safety. Even if you're buying a home as is, get the inspection. At least you'll know what you're walking into instead of getting blindsided. So what do you do instead? Don't just hire the cheapest inspector on Google. Ask your agent for recommendations and check reviews. A good one will give you a detailed report with lots of photos. And if you're buying new construction, ask about a phased inspection, where the inspector checks the home at different stages of the build, not just at the end. If you're not sure where to start in your home buying journey, I have a free home buyer guide on my website, workwithdang.com. I can help you find a real estate agent in your area. There's more information on my website. I make videos like this every week. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Mistake number 3 is thinking new construction is perfect. New doesn't mean flawless. A lot of buyers assume a brand new home is problem-free, but I've seen the opposite. Builders cut corners, subcontractors rush jobs, and sometimes no one is really supervising. I've walked into homes with leaking plumbing, uneven floors, even electrical problems, all less than a year old. And here's the kicker. If you assume the builder's warranty will protect you, you might be in for a fight. I've seen builders deny repairs by blaming the homeowner, even when the issue was clearly a construction defect. The lesson? Always get a home inspection, even on new builds, and read your warranty carefully. Know what's actually covered and what loopholes might leave you paying out of pocket. So here's what you do instead. Before you sign with a builder, research their reputation, not just their fancy website. Look up reviews, check the Better Business Bureau, and ask the sales rep if you can speak to recent buyers in the same community. And when it comes to the contract, don't be afraid to hire a real estate attorney to review it. Spending a few $100s up front could save you thousands in disputes later. Mistake number 4 is making big purchases during the process. This one blows up deals all the time. You get pre-approved, you're under contract, everything looks good, and then you go buy a car, finance new furniture, or open a credit card. Suddenly, your debt-to-income ratio changes or your credit score dips and your loan gets denied right before closing. I know someone who financed a couch just days before closing. The lender caught it in the final credit check and the whole deal almost collapsed. Luckily, they had just enough savings to pay it off on the spot, but that was a close one. So here's the rule. Don't make any big financial moves until after you've closed. No cars, no new credit cards, no surprise job changes. If you think you absolutely have to, talk to your lender first. Don't assume it's okay. So what you do instead is, once you're under contract, treat your finances like they're frozen. Any major purchase, new line of credit, or job change needs to be cleared with your lender first. If you know a big purchase is coming, like furniture or appliances, set that money aside in advance and wait until after closing to use it. Mistake number 5, ignoring HOA rules and fees. HOAs can make or break your experience as a homeowner. Yes, they keep the lawns trimmed and the neighborhood looking nice, but they can also nickel and dime you with rules and fees. I had a client who found the perfect home, only to learn that he couldn't park his work truck in the driveway because of HOA rules. rules. On top of that, HOAs can hit you with special assessments, surprise fees for repairs or projects in the community. I've seen assessments in the thousands due immediately on top of the regular HOA payment. And it's not just HOAs. Some cities have their own strict property codes, so make sure that you read the property restrictions in your city. The point is, always read the rules, check the budget of the association, and ask about upcoming fee hikes or assessments. What looks like an affordable home can turn into a money drain once the HOA has its hands in your pocket. So what you want to do instead is always request the HOA's covenants, conditions, and restrictions, the budget, and the meeting minutes for the past year. Those documents will tell you the rules, the financial health of the HOA, and any upcoming projects that could raise fees. If you see repeated mentions of repairs or complaints, that's a red flag. Mistake number 6 is letting emotions take over. It's easy to fall in love with a house. You picture the holidays there or your kids growing up in it, and suddenly you're willing to stretch your budget or overlook big red flags. I've seen buyers get so emotionally attached that they drain their savings just to win the deal. The problem is, once you move in, those bills don't care how much you love the open floor plan. The takeaway: keep a clear head, set your budget, stick to it, and remember, there will always be another house. So what you do instead is, before you even start looking, get pre-approved with a lender and work out the budget you're comfortable with. Not just what you qualify for, but what you can afford month to month after factoring in insurance, taxes, and utilities. Write that number down and use it as your anchor. And if you feel yourself getting too emotionally attached, walk away for a day and revisit with fresh eyes. Mistake number 7 is draining your savings with no cushion. Some buyers empty their bank account just to cover the down payment and closing costs. The problem is, the day you move in, the house can hit you with surprise expenses: an AC repair, a broken appliance, a higher utility bill than you expected. If you don't have a cushion, you go straight from homeowner to house poor, and I've seen that happen too many times. So make sure you've got money left over after closing, even if it means buying a slightly less expensive house. What you do instead is aim to keep at least 2 to 3 months of living expenses in savings after you close. If that feels impossible, look into low or no down payment loan programs like USDA, VA, or even FHA paired with down payment assistance. Sometimes putting less down is smarter if it means you'll have a cushion once you're in the home. Now, here's the mistake almost everyone overlooks that I mentioned earlier: not shopping around for a loan. It doesn't sound exciting, but it's a silent budget killer. One lender might approve you at 6.5%, while another gives you 6.25%. So what's that tiny %1 difference? On a $350,000 loan, that's about $60 a month, or over $20,000 across the life of the loan. And it's not just about rates. Some lenders specialize in certain loan types: USDA, FHA, VA, while others don't. I have a go-to lender for clients with credit challenges because she knows exactly which banks will work with them and even covers credit repair up front. Not every lender will do that. If you only talk to one lender, you'll never know what you're missing. And that's how people end up stuck with a loan that drains their budget for years. So what do you do instead? Talk to at least 3 different lenders before you're locked in. Compare not only the interest rate, but also the fees, the loan programs they offer, and how quickly they can close. Ask each one to give you a loan estimate. That's a standardized document that makes it easy to line them up side by side. Compare lender fees. If one lender is giving you the best rate, but they have more fees, you can see if they'll lower their fees to match a competitor's offer. Every one of these mistakes is 100% avoidable if you know what to do instead. Check permits before you waste time on a showing, hire a solid inspector, research your builder, freeze your financing during the process, read the HOA documents, set your budget before you fall in love with the house, keep a cash cushion, and talk to at least 3 lenders before you lock in. Do those things and you'll not only avoid the traps that trip up most buyers, you'll also give yourself a huge advantage in the process. If you found this video helpful, check out the video I linked here. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It motivates me to make more videos.